Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly, and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Laughing Stock. Redneck Johnny here. Back at another Thursday for some new research, and there's been some development in in my portfolio a bit. I haven't diversified a little bit more, but I have I'm tracking a few things that I'm interested in, but I've increased my cash position this week a little bit, and I've actually jumped more into ALTO. I've averaged down on ALTO, so I'm planning to talk a little bit about ALTO today in the beginning, and then not in the fundamental sheet, but just go through a little bit of an update, because ALTO has dropped in price pretty crazy now, and I find it a bit weird that it trades so low right now. The market cap is only 100 million, so yeah, we can check out a little bit of the development there. We are basically waiting on the same thing still in ALTO. But I wanted to take the opportunity to get my average down, because my average has been too high. I was in too early, so I'm adding down here. I've actually added twice in the last week or so, in the last 1.5 weeks. But as you also know, I have also diversified my portfolio a little bit at least, and bought Mastercraft, which I've also been showing on the stream. I have been tracking them for a while, and I like what I see there on the fundamentals, and I like the insider buys. And actually, like I was saying on a stream very recently, I expected Coliseum to make another purchase, and then they actually did it for about 4 million. Which is quite big, and we went through them a little bit on Saturday's stream, right? And their performance on what's documented on Open Insider, and they have been very successful. So them keeping the fact that they keep on buying down here around $20 and below, I find it very encouraging for the thesis, and I want to jump in together with them, around these prices. And don't get me wrong, I didn't. It almost has dropped till below 19 this week, but I didn't buy at the very lows that it has been to now. But I did manage to get my entry position in 19 something, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm gonna keep averaging down in Mastercraft, I think, if it drops below, because I have a price target of 18 for a good entry, and it didn't reach that. But when it dropped below 20, I was like, I'm going to take an entry position now and then average down if it keeps falling. So those are the two stocks I own right now, and I've also added more into Alto and got my average down, like I said. And I'm still bullish on both of them. May sound a bit weird on Alto, but 100 million market cap and the kind of assets they have, and also just the outlook on the projects they have going. And of course, if they fails, then we change the thinking a bit about them, you know. But I want to believe that they will succeed in the carbon capture program, and maybe also sell off the Western assets to fund it. And we are talking like a couple of more months, and we should probably know what's going on there. So yeah, even if it trades cheap, I'm a bit optimistic right now on both of them. So here's the insider purchase from Coliseum. They bought, look at this, almost $4 million, and they, you know, they started at 21 here. Most of the purchases are around 20, 21, and then they have two purchases below 20, which are pretty big purchases too, and they are pretty happy with that, it seems like. And I'm not surprised even if you will see more buys. And you know, the price is down even now to what is it, like 1950 something, 1955. It went up a little bit today, down in the after hours, but I'm not too worried about that. Nice market cap. You see, it's a bit boring, this stock, and has been in history-wise. It's going sideways for a long time, but sometimes that's good, you know. Sometimes that's we can check the chart actually. Sometimes when they move sideways for a little bit, it can break up. It can also, of course, break down, but I don't think it will. Look at the resistance; it's pretty strong, bouncing around here, and the drop here was on earnings report, I think, and then it went straight back up again. So yeah, of course, it can break below it, but it's just been bouncing around here in this area. And you know, if it goes back up now and it finally starts to break out here, you can see some upside here. I'm not talking about like a crazy high upside, but you have to keep in mind that this company has a lot of cash on the books, and they also have, it's like a cyclical business where people buy the boats at certain time of the year, and like they use the equipment for a certain time of the year, in especially in like colder areas, and also the macro environment is having an effect here. But if all these things turn around a bit, you might see some more sales even, and then I mean, with the cash they have opportunities, and I guess that's the simple thesis to Coliseum as well, who are a 10% owner, and they just keep adding. And like we showed on the last stream, you can see here, if you see here, they have been in Mastercraft before. They were in Mastercraft, and it's not too long ago that they sold almost 11.5 million of their position at $34. So also that's something to keep in mind with Colosseum. Like, they sold around here at the top, which is a pretty good timing. So in my opinion, they know what they are doing, and they know the company well. And when they now decide to go in again, that tells me something, gives me a little bit of confidence that you know, I'm not the only one who sees this. And they are. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to find so much information on Coliseum, but I saw actually that Stabos was mentioning them in one of the tickers that I did research on a Seeking Alpha article. He mentioned that Coliseum was the only one who were buying. So you know, people know about this fund, it seems like, but I haven't been able to find too much information on them. But yeah, I like it, and you know, I'm not sure when the first purchase they had in Mastercraft were, but I think the first one you see here is like this sale where they pretty much nailed the top. And I'm not sure if that was the entire position or whatever, but you see here they in the same year they bought back in again after it dropped, because it did drop pretty quickly down to here again, and then it's been trading sideways for quite some time now. So yeah, I have a position in Mastercraft now, and I'm pretty happy with it. We don't need to go through the fundamentals on this stream, because we have done it now a fair bit in the past. Look at here, by the way, in the pandemic, went down to $5. Yeah, and it's interesting. You see the dip here too, around $19. So that it seems like a good floor here, and I mean, when I got in now at 19, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how it goes. And like I said, I'm not seeing the fantastic upside here, but I think it can go to 30 again, and I'm happy with 30. So if it does turn around and it starts to get close to 30, I have to reassess and see if I should trim the position a bit, or what I'm going to do. But I'm going to let you guys know what I'm thinking. And also, I have a stop loss in place for this one. I'm going to stick to the stop loss again. So if it drops like 10% below my entry position, my stop loss will be triggered, and it will sell the entire position. So that's the way I'm protecting myself a bit here. So I might be stop lossed out of this too. You know, it's a bit scary too when it does trade close to these 52-week levels. But what I like to see, like I've said 100 times now, is that it keeps testing, goes and it bounces up again, drops down, stops here at the same level, bounces up again, and then it does it again. It does it multiple times, and I'm just hoping that it will turn around and continue up. You see the earnings report is, you know, when things happen in between, it's like pulling back a bit again, and I think on TradingView it's pretty good because they have like the earnings report. So the next one will be in September for them, so it's quite some time till. But I'm good waiting here, and I will, like I said, I think I will add if it doesn't drop too far and things changes a bit. But yeah, I'm happy here with Mastercraft. And then ALTO. I saw this Green Plains, you know, they are a competitor, and they have some news now, and I don't think they went up so much on this news in the, you know, with the price action. Was actually down today, but a couple of days ago they came out with this news that they had an update on a carbon capture project, and you know, I just thought I should pull it up. Like, things are happening in terms of carbon capture sequestration projects in competitors to ALTO, and you know, ALTO is working on the same stuff, and the deadline, like I started the stream with, the deadline is getting pretty close here. So I'm not. That's what I've been waiting for the whole time, actually, this carbon sequestration program and the news for that. So it's just nice to see that Green Plains is now putting this into motion, and they are, what did they say, like the executing key equipment required to capture carbon from its Nebraska sites has been ordered. These milestones position the company to start construction in the second half of 2024 and begin the collection of the biogenic carbon dioxide associated with the production of 287 million gallons of ethanol per year in the second half of 2025. So things are moving a bit in the right direction, and then I saw some articles here in Justin's article. There has been some recent comments, and people are bearish like hell, and maybe rightfully so. But I'm not, and Justin is still not. And it all depends on when you enter this stock. I think Dane talked on his last stream that he's buying at these levels, and if you enter, if you enter here, you're in a good position in terms of ALTO. But a lot of people here entered at the wrong side of the Q3 report and lost some money, So Justin is this is a recent comment, 14th of June. So he's talking about like they are trying to make fun a little bit about him, that he has put a price target on the assets of 10 per share, and then he's saying like, haha, last year he said 20, and then Justin comes in here and just says like, yeah, the assets are worth 10, but if they get this carbon capture program implemented, they will be worth 20, like he has said all the time. And that's still the thesis, and ALTO has confirmed that they are working on this closely with Volt, and we are talking about like in the near future here that we will know if they will succeed with that or not. So I'm pretty excited about to know what they are going to do with that, and I hope we get some updates they have said themselves like by the end of December, and whatever that means, like August or September, I guess they will come with some solid updates on that. And then I just saw like Justin was also saying in a reply to someone posting this this article, and the Peking campus is based in Illinois, and they are a bit scared now. And I have actually done research on this in the past in the local community in around the Peking plant, because there was some talk about ALTO. How do you say it? Like they were gonna use the Wolf pipeline. And the news in the local community around the Wolf pipeline was pretty negative. They didn't want it there. They were scared of leaks and stuff like that. So they did not want it there. And there was a lot of hearings and people were very negative against it. So I was thinking like, that's always a risk. But if you have listened to what, we can pull it up later, but if you listen to what ALTO management is saying, they're talking a little bit like they are very, very aware of that, and that they have carefully planned how to do this in a way that makes sense and maybe protects also themselves from some of the criticism from the local community. I will pull it up later. But this article is just saying like they are slowing, lawmakers just voted to slow the state's carbon capture boom, so they are putting the brakes on a little bit, and I'm not gonna read through it, but it's here if you wanna. It's also a link to it here in Justin's latest article on Seeking Alpha. So if you wanna check this out, you can go and read it yourself. It's not a long article. And it's just like it's spreading a little bit of risk and uncertainty in terms of the carbon sequestration program as well that they're going to implement now, which is what we're waiting for, right? So that would be a huge negative effect on the thesis if they have to postpone or cancel this altogether. That will change the thesis for me personally completely. And I don't even think if they postpone it, they don't have the money to keep this going. It will be a disaster for them, I think. So that cannot happen in the thesis that I'm currently having. But that's why when I thought, and this was yesterday, so I thought Justin's reply here was pretty good. And he said like, yes, I saw this article the day it was passed, and he says like, very good news for ALTO, horrendous for REX, potentially, as there is some debate over whether this applies to intra or interstate pipelines. In regards to ALTO, it actually completely validates the path the company took, which I was just saying. REX moved, and you know how slow and careful management in ALTO were when they spoke about this a year ago, and before that even. They took their time to get this right, and they said that they were gonna make sure that they were exploring every opportunity that they had, because they knew what they were sitting on, you know. So hopefully they have chosen the right path, and that it's not really a coincidence that I will read through it more now, but hopefully this is not a coincidence by management, and that they have actually made a very good decision here. So he's saying in regards to ALTO, it actually completely validates the path the company took. REX moved at the speed of light, and now both ALTO and REX will have CO2 sequestrations go live at the same time. Could you imagine if ALTO had put in all that money only to have the project delayed 2 years? It would have bankrupted the company. The passage of this bill would cause zero delay with the most recent plans they presented to the market. Furthermore, while not mentioned in the article, the bill allows for eminent domain. Therefore, ALTO no longer needs voluntarily approval from all landowners to move forward, which was a big thing when they talked about the Wolf pipeline. I went in and looked at the hearings and like the papers filed from the local community and stuff like that. It was all negative, like they were fighting hard against this, and I can understand it. You know, they are scared of. They are scared for their work and for their land and the quality of the food that they produce there and everything like that. If it gets signed, it'll be a real game changer. If you're on the REX side of it, you're hoping that the Federal Pipelines and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration finalizes safety rules prior to the 2 years, which would allow for immediate completion at that point. In my opinion, this will make the peaking site even more attractive for potential acquirers such as REX, as they can take everything online at once and manage the process from start to finish if they so choose. I was saying like, could be positive if someone comes and wants to buy ALTO now, because they have chosen a different path that will, right now at least, it seems like this will materialize, and you know, that they will implement this program, which will hugely benefit them. ALTO has guided an update at the end of the summer. As I've said for nearly a year now, I believe they will sell the Western assets to fund the project. If they don't delay the end of the summer announcement, they'll need to pair it with either an asset sale or a loan that allows them to move forward. This is nothing new. My bet is on an asset sale, as this is easily forecasted based on significant changes that have been made over the last several quarters in regards to management voicing that all assets are for sale, as well as completely separating out the Western assets from peaking in the actual reported financial. And that happened, you know, in February or March or whatever it was. For the first time, they split out the performance of the Western assets and like showed everyone the like transparency of in terms of performance and everything on those plans. So that's what Justin is talking about here, and you know, I was pretty happy with him saying this, because this has been a bit of a worry for me, because I never got good answers, and it's a long time ago. I checked out the local communities there and like the hearings of the Wolf. I even sent an email to the journalist that wrote the article that said like ALTO was planning to use Wolf, and because in the article he was writing about it like it was a certain thing, but then when I wrote him, he actually sent me an answer, and he said like in the meeting, that's what like the conversation was about that they were actually going to do with the Wolf pipeline, but obviously that never happened. So he was saying like he understood that maybe that was a little bit of a wrong statement and that things had changed, but at the time that's what he was reporting on. And I don't know, like, you know, he was there though. So that's what he said to me, and I've been a bit worried about that for a long time. And right now it seems Justin is very confident that this doesn't matter too much. And also then it's good to see that if you look at the earnings call, here, this is like the path that I think they have done on purpose, and not just like by coincidence. Obviously, it doesn't matter what direction they're taking. They have been doing a lot of thinking and planning about this, but sometimes you can still get lucky on the decisions. But I don't think they have been here. I think they have forecasted that this is a little bit of a tough route to navigate through, and that they have actually landed and made a good decision on what they ended up doing. So they are saying like, our plan is to work with Volt to safely transport the CO2 to a geological reservoir nearby and permanently store it securely deep on the ground. So the key here is that it doesn't need to travel long. And they are fully worked. They have submitted like some permit applications and stuff like that. So things are in move, but we need to be a bit patient here to see what happens. And I totally understand that this can go the wrong way as well. So that's the risk, you know. Here, in addition to that, we're doing a lot of work with Volt around the community and making sure that we're responding to questions and comments as well as reviewing citing. And there's probably a sort of other things that I'm missing. That said, our goal is to have, if we stay on track as we are, to have our application in call it end of summer before fourth quarter this year. So, you know, they are fully aware that they need to handle local community and stuff like that. So to me, it seems like a conscious decision that they have gone with and tried to navigate through this. And, you know, everyone now talks shit about management and how poorly they are, but maybe this is a good thing that they have done, and, you know, a good decision that can change this sentiment a little bit and actually prove that they know what they are doing. At least I hope so, and I want to believe so, like I've been saying in the past as well. Because I follow ALTO for a long time, and management they have not been incompetent all this time. They've done good things as well, you know, but no one disagrees that it has been a disaster like the last year or so, but it hasn't all been bad. So I hope that this is something good that they have can prove to the market that they actually know what they are doing. So the sentiment can turn around a bit. Oh, hey, Nashkar, I didn't see you there. So Nashkar is in the chat saying 8:30 a.m. morning PRs have been running sub 50 stocks all week. MB on Monday, Red Light Tuesday, M-Gold today. They were all clean moves. ALTO has 7,028 days of data on ThinkScript. It has had one intraday double. The stock definitely trades very heavy. Yeah, Nashkar, nice. Happy to hear that you have done some good trades lately. I know you're more of a trader than what Dane and myself are, but you know, and if you have followed the past streams now, we are trying to dive more into the technical analysis of this. You know, of investing, and we're trying to learn different indicators, different signals, and we're trying to implement it into our strategy as more like deep value folks, you know. And so far we are pretty excited about what we see on the chart and stuff like that. So yeah, but trading is not easy, so all credit to you, Nashkar. But so yeah, you made money on all of those or what? Good trades then. And then finally, I just want to continue with ALTO. Like, this is, if you haven't checked out the Vault, you know, this is their page, and I don't care too much about this page, but if you go to project experience here, you know, they have, I'm assuming that peaking is this. If you can see my mouse here. I'm not sure. This orange mark here, I think that's the peaking plant. And if you look at the orange here, it says like CCS monitoring geophysical. So that to me sounds like the stages they are in, you know. And so I think this is the peaking plant that they have updated their map with. So they are definitely working here, you know. I was in MBO at 15 cents on Monday. It ultimately ran to 133 by Tuesday pre-market. Didn't make all that much. Best sell was 39 cents only. That's nice, Nashkar. Congratulations on that trade. So how do you screen for these tickers, Nashkar? I'm curious to know, because and how often do you like develop and update your screening methods to find these trading stocks? Because I'm in the process of I've you know, I've been talking a lot about lately about that I'm trying to build up my universe with Y sheets, and I've been having to wait for them to fix a little bit of some issues that they have, but they have actually fixed a lot of them now. So it pulls in way more tickers than it did initially. So I actually spent some time now to improve my sheets and build out the database. I'm soon finished, but I have faced some issues again with Y sheets. They are still missing some tickers. So, but I know that I can start using it soon. But I just want to make sure that everything runs smooth and everything like that before I show it on the stream, and also before I can trust that I can use it moving forward. And right now it takes a little bit long time for me to update everything. It takes like 10 minutes maximum, which isn't a long time, but the point is I have to update everything when the market closes for the stream, and then, you know, it will take me 10 minutes to do that on the stream, which is a little bit, you know, bad. So I'm hoping that they can improve that situation a little bit too. And I've been in contact with Guillermo, who we had on the channel for an interview, who is the founder of Y Sheets, and he said like they are working on one button that will you can press that will pull in all the data at the same time. Right now I have like 17 buttons I have to press, so it takes a little bit time, but it's all good. But my point was I'm also in you know, in the next step of that, I want to build out a new screener that alerts me a little bit more than the stuff I have now. So I would be curious, Nashkar, to hear your screening methods here. I use Thinkorswim. Basically all my scanners are through that platform. Okay. I have 4 main dynamic watch lists, and based on historical small cap runners, I know the percentage of big movers historically from each watch list. Okay, I got you. So Thinkorswim. Is it am I in the right one, NASCAR? Like from Charles Schwab? I'm assuming it's this one, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna check more of this now, but yes, it's through Schwab. They just took over DT Ameritrade. Okay. And what's the pricing here, Nashkar? I'm just curious to see. I'm not gonna dive more through it now, but I'm gonna check it out. Are you happy with it? For screening and like positioning yourself to do these trades? So yeah, that's like just the alt update. And like I said, I've added twice in the last 1.5 week. I think both down in like one. I think the first purchase was 135, and then I have one today at 130. I think I got it in, or if it was 129. And you know, the lowest it has been for quite some time is 126, I think. So we are getting there, you know. And that it just doesn't make sense to me. Where did it land today? 131. And there's a vote today. There's a vote today that they there has been a little bit of a fuss around that vote also because it has to do with the compensation of management. And of course, people don't think they deserve too much after the performance they've had. But yeah, look at the market cap though, 100 million. And if Justin's right with his pricing of the Western assets, which is just one part of the business they have, it's like that's the entire market cap. So yeah. Okay, enough about Alto, I think. Just wanted to be transparent that I bought more. And, you know, I've been talking about that my wish to diversify the portfolio. And I have done it with one company. And of course, that's not a lot, but it's a start. And the reason that I wanted to put more into Alto is that I simply haven't found many better opportunities, in my opinion, right now. This is, of course, never investing advice you get on this channel, but in my opinion, I've been following Alto for quite some time, so it just makes sense to put it in there right now. So that's why I've done it, and instead of diversifying. I know I said I would diversify, but yeah, I find Thinkorswim to be very powerful. It's zero commission trading. Cool. And do you have like unlimited watch lists and filters and stuff like that you can just use after you have a profile there? So I have a question. What is your monitor setup when you trade? I know I'm more into day trading, but I've found having a vertical monitor to be useful to display a long list of tickers when I scan. Yeah, my setup is like not the best probably. And just to be clear, Nashkar, because you know English is my second language and all, so you're talking about like my computer setup, right, with screens and everything? Because the way I do this is like I don't need to have all the information at the time that I am buying things. I'm more like if I think something is cheap, I'm just gonna enter and then average down if it keeps dropping and I continue to like it. So I know for trading you need to keep an overview of everything at the same time, and a lot of things that you need to pay attention to enter and exit a position pretty quickly, and like the book, the order flow, and all those things. Now I don't need it, but I can see the advantage to have a, you know, a vertical screen, so you get more space to look for. But I have 3 computer screens, one big one in the middle. They are all horizontal. I started with having a vertical one, but for the stream, it was better to use the entire screen to you know, to see everything. So that's just my setup. And I have a normal camera and microphone and all that stuff. And I have a green screen, of course, behind me. So I hope that's what you were asking me about. All right, so we are in dashboard here. So there's actually a lot of opportunities now in the tracker sheet. Maybe not opportunities, but things are cheap. So I want to revisit some of the tickers. I've done that in past streams too, you know, pull them in from the tracker. So I know I just said like I couldn't find more better opportunities than ALTO right now, but there are other opportunities as well. And I was tempted to go into some of them, but I have already pulled up like 4 tickers today from the tracker that I plan to do some research on. But you see solars continue to drop a bit. The gold and silver mines were up again now. Nvidia down. I saw Bitcoin's like still 65 now. Lithium down. A bit of a, you know, it's right here now. Who knows where it will turn after this. So I'm not, yeah, I'm not paying too much attention to this. But I found in my tracker sheet, look at this. You know, my conditional formatting in this column here, it lights up like different colors of green if they get close to the price target that I add in, and that's just a rough estimate. It's based on my complete picture of it and a price that I think it's justified to look at it again. So all the green ones here are like getting to that level, you know, and there's a lot of them. So things have been very bearish for a lot of these tickers in the tracker lately, which is why I pull them up. So and I see there's some issues today with some of the columns, but yeah, that's why I have already set it up that I put in 4 tickers here. So we can move to them now. I have them here: WPRT, FSI, HOFT, and RDUS. So we start with the Westport Fuel Systems, which is WPRT. So machinery, construction machinery, heavy. Westport Fuel System engages in engineering, manufacturing, supplying alternative fuel systems and components for use in transportation applications worldwide. The company operates through original equipment manufacturing independent aftermarket segments. It offers alternative fuel system and components, which include a range of alternative fuels such as liquid petroleum gas, compressed natural gas, liquefied natural gas, renewable natural gas, and hydrogen. Oh, today at work, I was actually I was actually doing an experiment where we created a tiny bit of hydrogen and we lighted it on fire, and you know, there was a noise. It was a little bit of a bang. Just like an experiment. An independent aftermarket, light and heavy duty original equipment, and blah blah blah. Westport high pressure direct injection 2.0, a fully integrated fuel system that enables diesel engines using primarily natural gas fuel to match the power, torque, and fuel economy benefits found in traditional compression ignition diesel engines, which reduces greenhouse gas emission. I'm going to stop there. You get what this company is about. It says levered, but it doesn't issue shares. And look at the debt. Total debt is 75 million, and short term is 26, and the cash position is 41 here. So not worried too much about the debt here. Oh, true. I couldn't find it. It's a Canadian company, so puts me off a little bit, but it's not a big problem. Book value 851, tangible book 8. You know, capex here pretty steady the last years. Revenue climbing up a little bit, but so does the share count. But it's nice to see that they have actually paid off the debt here, and they've had asset sales, but also acquisition lately. But what is the big worry here, of course, is look at this cash generation, and even historically, look at this. It's always been negative. Same with the free cash flow. So, you know, it doesn't look very well driven or well run, this company. But the reason I think I have it now in the tracker is like, if you look at the numbers, it can look like it's turning around a little bit, but I have to say though, I don't like it when they have like all this negative cash flow generation. It's not very good. But now it's trading like 562, so it's pretty substantially below book value right now, and it has been even lower at 49. So and it dropped another 5% today. So it's close to the 52-week low, but it has some room still to go down here, you know. 49 was here then. And then it got up on the earnings report, almost to $8 actually. So that was quite a bit of a leap. But yeah, it's trading way below book value. No insiders. This is super old. Because it's a Canadian company, so I don't have that information. Maybe someone is talking about the... I see Henrik Alex here is involved. He has a hold rating, and probably it's... Yeah, it's down. Oh, this is recent. This is 2 days ago, so it's down since then. His key points, like last month, Westport Fuel System reported disappointing first quarter 2024 results, with revenues and earnings falling well short of consensus expectations. Yeah. On a more positive note, favorable working capital movements resulted in cash flow from operation improving substantially on a year-over-year basis. And that's what we saw, like, this is slowly, you can maybe tell that it's, you know, turning to the right side to be positive. And also, if you look at the margins, they are up, you know, so... I added it to the tracker to follow the story. I added this quite some time ago, I think, if I remember correctly. Subsequent to quarter end, the company and Volvo finally launched a new HPDI joint venture, which triggered a 28.4 million cash payment to Westport. Sorry. In combination with ongoing cost-cutting efforts, the resulting liquidity boost should be sufficient to carry the company well into 2026 and potentially even beyond. And that's what I also mean with the debt. And I'm not worried about this, you know, going under or anything. However, with no visible path to profitability or free cash flow generation, I don't see any reason to initiate or add to existing position at this point. Consequently, I'm reiterating my hold rating on the shares. And that's pretty much what I think when I look at this as well. I do like this though, that they, but also at the same time, book value is a little bit down in these years. but maybe that, you see, they had some more cash here, and I assume they have spent it a little bit to pay off some of the debt, you know. But I this needs to turn around more for me before I get interested in it. And I look at this. This is terrible. This is terrible. But of course they can turn it around. Like in these years, it doesn't look. It looks like it's on the right way at least. So something to track, something to pay attention to. They have stuff on whale wisdom. Nothing. All right. And you know, Henrik Alex has been talking about them for a long time here, and look at the comments. A lot of people are interested here. He has had a hold rating. That's interesting though, because he has a hold rating all his time since April, like more than a year ago. 600 comments. You know, since the first one I found here, it's down 32%. So a lot of interest in this company. I think this bearish article is the reason for today's torpedoing. Certainly not. Nasdaq is giving back. Yeah, okay. So people are not happy with them and management, it seems like. No, they have liquidity for at least another 2 years. Plenty of time for another hype in the shares. No, but I agree with Henrik. You know, Henrik Alex, we know about him. We have talked about him before. He is a good analyst. He's a little bit. Sometimes I feel like his style is a bit more on the trading side of things, but he does write some good articles and have some good points. And I have to say I agree with him here. Like, this needs more for me to enter, and even if it drops more down, I still think I maybe wouldn't be interested before I see like they actually turn around to positive cash generation here, and especially free cash flow, and you see that they have a long way to go there. But the good thing, like he was saying, is like they have at least a couple of years that they're not going to go under, you know, so they have some room to improve on. So that's going to be what I'm going to continue to follow and pay attention to here. But for now, I'm just not going to update anything. I saw that it has dropped, you know, which is why I was interested. But it needs to deliver more with the cash generation for me. So FSI is the next one. The next one. And this, look at the tiny market cap, which, you know, I've talked a little bit about it since the BNED trade, that I'm gonna be a little bit more careful on these tiny market caps, because not that the market cap in itself puts me off, but I'm just at the position I'm in now. I don't want to. I find it a little bit more risky, especially when it's like 22 million. That's tiny. but this thing has some stuff going for it, so I was thinking to pull it up. Hey Resius, nice to see you back here, Resius. Thanks for tuning in. How are you going? Are things good for you this week with your investments and stuff, or what? Did you take a large hit today? No, I don't think I did actually. I've been talking about Resius that I've been adding to my ALTO position, and also I have diversified in Mastercraft, and I actually bought ALTO more today. I'm trying to average down here, so if you talk about hit, I've been taking a hit on ALTO since forever, but I'm still bullish. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, I talked a long time about ALTO and the update there and stuff like that, so go back there instead of me sitting here and repeating everything. But short story now is like it's getting ridiculous cheap in my opinion, so I have taken the opportunity in the last like 1.5 weeks to get my average down here. So but today landed at 0. Mastercraft was a little bit up, so I haven't taken a hit today actually. But in total for the year, you know, it has not been a good year for me, but working to turn that around. Anyways, FSI, Flexible Solutions, together with its subsidiaries, develops manufacturing market specialty chemicals that slow the evaporation of water in Canada. So also a Canadian company, the United States and internationally. The company operates in 2 segments, energy and water conservation products, and biodegradable polymers. It's a chemical and specialty chemicals company. The thing that I like, even if you trade cheap, 173, I mean trades at a low market cap. It's at 173 now, and look at the book value, and the cash generation is pretty good in my opinion. Operating cash flow of 54 cents and free cash flow of 11, and even positive earnings for quite some time. And like if you just look at this development of the company in this time period, it looks pretty good. Like it's, you know, well ran, it seems like. Margins are jumping a little bit up and down, but overall and earnings, I mean the same. But overall, if you look at the growth in both book value and cash generation, it's not too bad, is it? But then of course the share price have disagreed a little bit with that. So you know, it trades now almost 20% to the 52-week low, which is what triggered my screening for it. And you see here, it's a little bit bearish, this chart, you know, but and it does find support here. It seems like at around 1.5. So maybe we'll keep dropping now and go back to there. But you see that it turns up as safe here. They have very little depth, and the short-term depth is also small. Their cash position right now, according to my data, is 8 million. So they can handle that. Revenue is... it has been growing, but then a little bit of a pullback now. I just like, I like a lot of things here, but I'm also being put off a little bit with the tiny market cap here. I assumed it would drop lower for ALTO. Yeah. It has been dropping like crazy for quite some time now, and hence why I'm buying. And I think now there's a meeting and a shareholder meeting today, I think. Where are we? This one is today, right? Where they were advising people to vote yes. And I saw on social media and everywhere it's like people are not gonna vote yes, but I don't know. I don't think this matters too much in the long run. Old articles, so not a lot of people are talking about this right now. But some recent comments though, Value Digger here. Keep in mind that this year's special dividend has not showed up in my sheet, but okay, of 10 cents a share is double the last such payout made in 2023 as shown below. This is another indication that FSI is confident about its ability to generate positive operating cash flow and positive free cash flow in 2024. It's hard to deny that it's pretty impressive with this cash generation, to be honest, and especially if you compare it to the market cap currently. I kind of like it. Like, yeah, this is not bad in my opinion, and also they trade below book value, you know. So I can see this go to like between, you know, 2.5, let's say 2.5 to above, you know, to maybe 4. The 52-week low high is almost $3. So it's not a bad setup this in my opinion. And Value Digger here, which we have seen some, he's commenting on a lot of stuff, you know, so and then the rest is a little bit old. A 150 might not be a good investment, but can be a wonderful trade. I'd buy now, as I think within a year you can easily see this double. I've done that before. You can get meme-like pattern. Not sure if it repeats getting up and over 4. Furthermore, outlook is positive and growth opportunities are on the horizon, so the next quarters will be better than Q1 according to the CEO. Progress is being made. We streamlined operations by closing our Naperville R&D facility and moving all the work to our Peru, Illinois building. The exit costs from this action were nearly all taken in Q1, so the benefit will become evident Q2 and Q3. Some price increases have been possible, but not enough to recover past margins yet. Several large new opportunities have been found in the food nutraceutical market and are proceeding toward revenue in the 2024 year. Despite the challenge in Q1 and the one-time expense associated with closing the Naperville office, revenue year-over-year drop is slight. FSI remained profitable while also generating positive operating cash flow and positive free cash flow. That's what we saw here, you know. This is data is from 24. So I'm actually tempted to take an entry here. If you look at the chart too, you know, like I said, this is a bit annoying. Like it's very bearish right now, and they missed on the earnings, right? So this might continue to fall, which is like why I'm dragging my feet a bit here, because it could drop lower this. At the same time, if you look here though, it's around the same level. You know, it's just interesting. I kind of like the fundamentals though, I have to say. Canadian company, and the insider owns 48% in my dot set. I'm not sure if we can pull this up. Yeah, they are here. So let's check the owners actually. So that was the CEO. He is the owner, 35%. Comprehensive financial planning. Oh yeah, I have seen them before, I think. Asset management. You saw the assets they had. Oh, sorry, I think I read that wrong. Anyways. Yeah, this is not so interesting, but they are involved. 10% owner. This Daniel O'Brien guy. He owns a lot, but he's also selling a lot though. Look at this. Selling a lot. But small amounts though. Like, sure, it adds up, but seems like he still owns a lot, and it's been a while now since he was selling, so. Yeah, I kind of like this. But there are things that puts me off a bit. The tiny market cap and the fact that it can drop even lower now looks very bearish on the chart. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, but I'm not gonna be surprised if this jumps to like 2.5 fairly quick too. So let's it's in the tracker. I'm gonna keep tracking it. Anyone talking about it on stock tweets or X? You see operating expenses also down. Yeah, no, I have to say I like this. I'm gonna keep a close eye on this one moving forward. But okay, let's move to the next one then. Can check Twitter before we move to the next one. Nah, nothing here. All right. HOFT, HOFT. We continue. Hooker Furnishing Corporation. It's like household durables, home furnishing. We have done them before. All of them we have of course done them before, but I don't think it's too long ago I pulled these ones up. Big drop in revenue, which of course you don't like to see that. Margins are declining, but keep in mind though, in the pandemic, this company probably did extremely well. You can see it here on the cash generation in the pandemic years here. And then of course the margins will take a hit when things start to slow down a little bit again. So you see that for a lot of these companies that got some business, you know, during the pandemic. So but then it's nice to see here, like cash generation last year or two is up quite a bit too, and they have, seems like they have bought back shares. It shows up as safe. they trade now well below book value. Look, they trade at actually a new 52-week low. So this is already interesting for me. It has taken out their 52-week low today, and it trades at 13.34, and book value is 21 bucks, and tangible book value is almost 17. So you have some. It trades below that, you know, which I like to see. And then the cash generation for a $13, they even pay $1 in dividend. 3.30 in operating cash flow, almost $3 in free cash flow, so not bad. And then take into consideration the dividend. You know, it shows up as safe, so I don't think this will struggle to survive or anything like that. But you know, it's usually I like when companies don't pay a dividend, but it doesn't put me off here. They have almost 40 million cash and 74 in long-term debt. The short-term is 30, so I mean the cash position can cover that. So not worried about the debt here at all. But I'm a bit curious to see. Probably they have missed on some earnings and stuff like that, right? Here recently, misses by 36 cents, which is quite a bit. Missed by 1.37 million. Very few comments though. Very few comments actually. Came by to see how HOFT was doing, and it looks like HMI is still the earnings and cash eater. They have all that prepaid life insurance on the books too. Shareholders should demand that be liquidated and paid out. So obviously some stuff that I'm not familiar with here that I need to check out, but what is this guy saying? I agree. If you want a good hooker movie, watch Pretty Woman or Clute. I love the transformation of Richard Gere in Pretty Woman. It wasn't about the transformation of Julia Roberts' fault. Otherwise, stay away from all hookers, including the fattiously named furniture company. Funny guy here. So this guy also downgraded to a hold rating, and it has dropped 23% since then. Face challenges with weak revenue and cash flows due to difficult industry conditions. The company's net debt has improved to net cash, but revenue has declined. Yeah, we saw the revenue was down, right? Analysts expect further decline. The environment for these things, a little bit like Mastercraft, it's not the best environment right now, but maybe that's where you get the opportunity and should focus on taking an entry position, you know. Analysts expect further decline in revenue and a loss in the first quarter of the 2025 fiscal years, indicating a weakening trend for the company. So what are the expenses here? Pretty steady. But a lot down since here, and maybe have they closed some shops or something? Additional share repurchase authorization. Okay, that was in 1 year ago. Didn't find too much there. No, but okay, people are telling everyone to stay away from it, but it does get attractive when it's like trading this slow. Look at this chart. From 27 to 13 in quite a short time, like just in 24. Look at this, what I was saying with the pandemic. Look at this. 12 to 43. So these years, how can you expect them to continue with these performances, you know? But saying that though, look at the operating cash, like 340 there and 330 here. It's not too far off, and you know, of course, in 20, you have to discount this stuff, right? But I mean, I don't think it's bad. Like $3 almost in free cash flow, trading at 13, and they have the dividend. You see, the cash can cover the long-term debt easily, even. Like some of these are leases, operating lease liabilities, like the majority here. So not worried about that, and maybe then it's cheap, you know. What are the insiders doing though? Been a long time since they were buying. Nah, no names that I like to pay attention to. Nah, FSI and HOFT, kind of like them here, to be honest. Someone talking about them? Just how they were missing earnings. Doesn't seem like too many people are talking about them here. And what's the? Did they have a presentation? Where's this shit? Annual report. Whoa. Are we gonna sit on the stream and read 92 pages of this? What do you think, people? How much time you have to sit there and listen to my stupid English? Plans for growth. The industry and our consumer is changing. We're adapting to those changes. During full year 24, we moved our Hook Legacy High Point showroom to a larger, more attractive and accessible space in the building, pictured on the cover of last year's annual report. The results were overwhelming, almost doubling our typical market attendance in each of the first two markets in the new space. To further increase our exposure to customers and potential customers, we opened multiple regional showrooms in Las Vegas and Atlanta, some of which are open year-round, blah blah blah. Well, screw this. I'm not gonna do this. Should have just gone to this one, but a bit. Well, it's from October 23. Bit long still, 26 pages. You know, in October 23, they were probably much higher than they are today. Here at 16, could be anywhere from like around 20 to 16. So things have changed a little bit since this report. All right, let's stop this madness. HOFT, interesting as well. FSI and HOFT, pretty interesting, to be honest. I'm paying a close eye to this these two so far. Not saying that I'm gonna take an enter position or something like that, but this is worth tracking closely, I think, in the short term here. Big drop in revenue, though. I mean, there's a reason you get these opportunities, right? This is not good performance, but taking off the 52-week low today. Look at this. October 22, it went down to 1288, and then in the pandemic, after that you have to move back to like 2013 to find this level of the stock, you know. Breaking into oversold territory on the RSI here. This is on a weekly chart. Just was the earnings, and next one is September. This is an interesting setup, I must say that. Very interested to see how this develops. But for now, let's move to RDUS, which is a bit complicated in my sheet. It puts in some wrong information, I think. It says it's a biotech company. I'm not sure if that's right. Like I want to use the Yahoo Finance here, and I'm a little bit skeptical to my numbers here. 1463, so that's accurate. This here is like RDUS recycling, and that's the info I have in the tracker, so that's the one I want, you know. Steel materials. And this talks about RDUS health. And I know that Y sheets pulled in RDUS health number, so I'm not sure if this is accurate at all. Let's try to compare a little bit to just see if we should bother continuing here. And something has happened here, right? I'm not sure if this is RDUS recycling 1463. Rebrand. Maybe this is why it's confusing. Schnitzer Steel. Well, I'm 28 million. I'm not confident in my numbers at all here. Let's check here. 28 million shares. So that's accurate. Who knows? I just know when I pulled it in, it said Radius Health. Well, anyways, we can read a little bit about it. Maybe we learn something here. I would not touch this thing. The CEO and her team have no clue on how to run a recycling business. They spent large sum of money in acquiring their competitors and ended up failing. They need to hire someone who is a real seasoned pro to turn this thing around. And this is a recent article as well. Also trading at 52-week low. That's not a good looking chart. Also getting overbought oversold on the RSI here. An attractive but volatile play on a cleaner future. Here's a buy rating. Radius Recycling is a larger recycler of ferrous and non-ferrous metal with operations in metal recycling, auto parts stores and steel manufacturing. Company's financial performance has been volatile due to fluctuating steel prices, but its stock is trading at low multiples. Despite short-term challenges, the long-term potential of the recycling industry makes Radius Recycling a cheap business worth considering. And I just want to check the steel chart here. We pulled it up not too long ago, right? This is like 1x steel ETF. You know, a little bit sideways and a drop now, so all right. I like the focused business model of Radius. It operates as a major player in an industry that will withstand pandemics and geopolitical black swans. The company's management has weathered recessions and cycled bottoms and owns a significant amount of common shares. I'm not even having that in my data. Some data is correct, some is not. I'm not trusting this too much. On a conservative basis, the stock does not look cheap, nor has it reached significant drawdowns from its 200-day weekly moving average. I would hesitate to own this stock about 26, knowing that recession risk is in the next 12 months is elevated. It's far from exactly like 26. Finally, I'm waiting until there is heavy inside buying action from CEO Tamara Lundgren, who has bought consistently at market lows. At the next earnings call and full year update, I will be looking for material increase in the volume of non-ferrous sales to confirm my view of management capability. So here is what is he talking about with her buying stock? Here is Schnitzer. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit confused about my information here. Oh, it's this one, remember? Oh, I remember this. Like this guy, wow, I forgot I even wrote this. Who believes that, right? I hope someone read this and bought the shares at 23 because I certainly didn't. Anyways, RDUS reports tomorrow and I'll share my thoughts here. So was this like it's down 44%, 20. Okay, I see what they mean now with the price and everything. October 23. He wrote about it here and then he claimed that he forgot about it, and now here again he talks about it like, I remember him now. Bunch of bullshit. You don't forget that you have written an article. Anyways, very confusing with my information that might be wrong here, so I'm just gonna leave this one till I can get more confirmation that my data is correct here. But all right, we have gone through 4 tickers. Then I really like FSI and HOFT. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna buy them, but these will definitely be on my radar moving forward here now in the short term. There are also clear things that I don't like about both companies. But it was nice to get an update on them, and you know, like I said, they have been dropping a lot, so and rightfully so maybe, but when other people are so bearish at, for example, HOFT, then you get this new drop. Then it might be interesting to enter, you know. So yeah, no investment advice, please. Keep in mind, I'm not doing well this year so far. Trying to change it around, and let's see how it goes. But yeah, no, I kind of like this. I kind of like these two from today. Just want to go into the movers today. If I have missed something, I'm curious to see. Oh, did you see battle down heavy today too? Talking about chart. Look at this chart. Almost historical low now. And look at the recent drop. And battle. There's a story here about a merger or acquisition that is failing, and so it's very story driven right now, and they haven't been able to pay what they agreed to pay and stuff like that. So I'm staying away from battle right now. It's too like story driven, and who the hell knows what's going on there, you know. Others in the daily movers these days, some in my tracker sheet too, so that's good. I just want to pull up before I think I will end the stream soon. But before I leave, I will pull up this one. Where are we? Advantage solution, which looks a little bit good on some of the multiples here, you know. Just want to check. Here, you know. Just want to check. By the way, if you're a customer of YSheets, check out this. They have a new AI chat. I haven't tested it out properly yet, but at first glance it looked pretty cool. So I'm gonna experiment a little bit with that to use some filters and stuff like that. But right now my main focus has been to build out the full database with YSheets, which I'm almost. I've almost done it completely. I've done this before, Advantage Solutions, but it's been a while. Share count is a little bit up like every year almost. Market cap is 883. Like any other broadcasting, like media advertising, like these types of companies, they tend to have a lot of they tend to be levered. So my sheet is now issuing a lot of shares extra to delever the company. You know, big short interest 34%. They trade at 274, and that's well below book value actually, and but not tangible book. I assume like they have a lot of, you know, goodwill and stuff like that. Then almost $1 billion in goodwill, and intangible assets 1.5. So but a little bit of cash position here, 110 in my sheet. Of course nothing close to cover the debt or anything like that, but they have decreased the debt a lot in the last years here, and short-term debt it's no problem. So that's good to see. They do generate positive both operating and free cash flow, and pretty good actually also in terms of like compared to the share price. Looks like margins have been taking a hit. But in the top of my sheet, you know, I used the 3-year averages, so it looks a bit more messy there than year over year, because some of these are going up a little bit. So I guess it's not all bad. And I mean, you can see on the earnings also had a terrible year last year, and now turning it around a little bit. Big chunk in capex. And what's their operating expense here? Operating expense is down. SG&A, where are we? SG&A is up quite a bit. So yeah. So what is the depth here? I forgot to check the depth. Term loan, big chunk here. Those are the two. When are they due then? 2028. With maturity dates of October 27 and November 28. So they have time, and as you saw, the short term is not a problem. What's the interest rate though? All right. It's pretty. It's heavily shorted though. What is this like? I'm not sure if I would short this as aggressively like this. Insiders owns a lot too. They've been also buying like 3 times in. These are tiny buys, not tiny, but like I want to see higher sums, you know. Whoa. This is not the right one. There we go, that's better. Was getting a little bit of a panic there because of the looks like a pulse, you know. When something is wrong with your pulse, it goes crazy. I mean, in a year it's been pretty good. Terrible earnings report here, it seems like. Big drop, continues to drop now. Takes out maybe some support levels that you have seen here, around here. So could fall down below to maybe these levels, like around $2 again. I think it's interesting. Below book value, and I mean the cash generation here isn't, it's not bad. Then you have a high short interest as well. What are people writing about it though? Old article. So this is a bit weird though, because usually when you see like these big short interest companies, you see a lot of people talking about it, but here's like pretty old article now, one comment. No one's saying anything. Seems like the author has also disappeared. I'm not sure what is social media saying. Nothing either. This is just noise.
That Arden has received the
Definitely interesting. I think I will add it to the tracker just quickly, and just to track the performance here. Oh, sorry. And there was a big ownership from the insiders also. They have a little bit of a complicated structure here. There's a few people who owns a lot. Then we see like, okay. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add this one. But the ticker seems familiar, but it didn't say that I have it in tracker. Just want to check. No, I can't see it. So quickly just gonna add this to the tracker before I go here today, because kind of like it just at first glance here. Media advertising. What do I put this under? Was it 274? In the chart, like, yeah, around $2, I think. What was the short interest? 34%. How much did 40, almost 50%, 47? I'm just writing a short notes of what I've seen here. And then I'm gonna add it just to track it. It's not interesting to me at these levels, but I think it's worth tracking this one. And yeah, I think that was it for me today, guys. I'm pretty happy with some of the tickers today. Of course, most of them were in the tracker sheet from before, so I know them from before. But now at the end there, I got to add another one, ADV. So that was good. And I've been talking a little bit about ALTO and Mastercraft also. So I wanted to update everyone on that and my thinking about that. And let's see how it will develop. Very curious to see. But we probably have to wait a little bit more for ALTO at least. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream for today now. So thanks for everyone who tuned in, and thanks to NASCAR and Reese's to use the chat. I saw we had some other viewers as well, so thanks for everyone who were watching. And Dane and I will go live again on Saturday. If we change anything, you can find the updates on X, our X profile, so follow us there. And then yeah, we will try to summarize the week on Saturday. So I see you then, and until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and have a good weekend, everyone. Bye bye.